Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to Mindfulness Hour. Once a week, usually Saturday morning here in Singapore, we do a 1 hour long session. So usually the way it goes is I'll kind of chit chat for the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes, and the 40 minutes in between is the time that we'll do our practice. So looking forward to leading you in that. And in the meantime, how's it going? So where are we? What have we been doing? We've been working on, we've been kind of in this space that's a bit more philosophical. And as we've been going through the last few days, I've been thinking about that old, one of the teachers that I listen to is a teacher by the name of Wu De, who has a tea center in Taiwan, which, by the way, it's opening has opened another center in California. So I think maybe those of you in the States, it's more accessible. I don't know where Wu De is. Anyway, Wu De's teaching is kind of a variety of different stuff. He's done some Zen meditations, but now with him being in Taiwan, he's mostly around Zen, and the Taiwanese style is interesting. Taiwan's kind of a former Japanese colony, but still quite Chinese. It's like really nice balance. And so his teaching is that we go up for Zen, we go up the ladder, and when we get to the top of the ladder, then we climb back down the ladder. So that's something that has really kind of been coming up for me a lot, because I feel like we're really at the very top of the ladder right now. Down at the bottom of the ladder, we're working on all the foundations, all the basics, all the really simple stuff, meditation posture, what are the objects of meditation, what is all of that, so the really ground level meditation stuff. And then we go up into the philosophical, we go up into the complicated stuff. And I think one thing I really strive for, to use this word striving, is to make sure that this practice is accessible to everybody. I'm not a Buddhist, but I do recognize that a lot of the teachings come out of Buddhism, and I do my best to keep it as secular as possible, so that there's no need for you as the participant to believe anything. That no matter what your belief structure is, that whatever I teach won't conflict with that. And I do think that the 10 Bulls of Zen is not conflicting. And again, right, there's teaching, there's the personal experience of the artist, of the poet, of the monk, of the meditator. There is word of mouth, like what goes on, what happens when I meditate, what happens when I've been meditating for 20, 30 years, what happens when I'm in a monastery for 20 or 30 years. What's that like, and what's this? What are the stories that we tell about this? What do the sutras say? What do all of this kind of ancient stuff? How do we bring it all together, and to look at it objectively? And I think I do try to do that as well. So I've done a few series on different religions to show at least from what I see, is that there are commonalities in all religious practices, and you'll see very, very clear common themes. I think that's one of the important things that I kind of want to reach out to you, besides mindfulness practice, is to recognize that we all have differences. Religion just happens to be one of them. And it's quite closely tied to culture. And we end up taking these differences and using them to divide ourselves. I'm this, she's that, and we end up with a very clear line of us and them. And I think that this is, at least it's shown up quite clearly in my practice, and without even doing a whole lot more than mindfulness of breath. As I learn about myself, this is something that I really like out of mindfulness in plain English, right? I recognize my own human failings. I see I see how I'm constantly being distracted, being brought away by my thoughts, by my experiences. I'm seeing how my own thoughts, experiences, and history end up causing my suffering, and I can feel compassion towards myself because of my own suffering. And furthermore, makes me realize that I am a human being. I have so much in common with every other human being in this planet, and the thing that I think divides us is so small compared to the thing that connects us. So this is, I think, it's an essential piece of our teaching, and as I'd say my first retreat, which I've been talking about a lot, since that really is where the 10 bulls are the topic we've been covering, where I saw 10 bulls for the first time, and on Koh Samui in Thailand. And the teacher who I think he died in 2008, so I never got to hear his teachings directly. Buddhadasa was his name, and one of Buddhadasa's one of his threefold vow was to help all religions to understand their core value, right? To help everyone, no matter what their religion is, to understand what is at the bottom, what's at the deepest core of our own belief, because it is common. I mean, if you look at the Ten Commandments, if you look at the five the 5 precepts of Buddhism, if you look at Hinduism, you even look at Islam, right? Underneath all of it are some of these very basic principles that we respect each other, we don't harm each other, that that we don't lie to each other. That we do our best to refrain from harm. We don't steal. We don't lie. All of this stuff to try and help maintain a good relationship with each other, and to not harm each other, and to have a good, caring society. I mean, this is really what you find at the base of all religions, and then. To find that commonality. I mean, that's step 2 of the threefold vows, and to know what it is we have in common, so that instead of fighting about what's different between us, that we pay attention to what's similar, and we learn to accept each other and all of the differences, which by comparison to our commonalities is very small. So instead, see those things that we have in common and work together. And Buddhadasa was quite against materialism, and so that was the third part of his threefold vow, is to see what we have in common, to see that to work together, all of us, to start to abolish materialism because of the scourge that it is on humanity, and just the sheer greed that kind of comes from materialism. And I think that's also integral in the retreats. Is there's no bedding provided, there's no pillow. You get a wooden pillow. It's just to try and get back to basics and help us remember. And I think that was one of the key learnings in that first retreat for me, is that there's so much that you don't need, so much that you think you need in this life. And then when we strip it all away and we end up having basic food, basic accommodations, just all of our basic needs being met with nothing else going on, that life can be really pleasant. And there's a lot that, and then this is, I guess, kind of rolls into my second retreat in Sri Lanka. My teacher's advice was, how do I be more mindful in my life? Simplify your life. Simplify your life. All right. I've got like a little dude flying right here. There. Welcome everybody. We're going to get into our practice. This kind of intro is, I suppose, more than anything, just to remind us that, whatever I'm teaching. I mean, that is, why do I go off on this? Is that the 10 Bulls of Zen, right? It is certainly tied towards Chinese and Japanese Zen. Maybe a good reason to bring up my teacher in Taiwan, because there really is that connection, and not to get too caught up on it, but to use it as kind of a fun, like maybe this is where my meditation practice can go. And not to get too caught up on it, because if we do, we might end up trying too hard, striving for something that, and having striving that isn't very useful, because there is, it's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. And I think that was the trap that I fell into. That the 10 Bulls brought me towards that trap, thinking that there's some place to go, that my meditation has a goal and I need to work hard. Not that you don't need to put your determination towards your practice, but you certainly don't need to work so hard, to focus so hard that you create wrinkles in between your eyebrows and that you sweat through your t-shirts. By all means, use the appropriate amount of effort, right? I guess that's why, that's another, I think that's one of the eightfold path, right? Right effort. So not too much, not too little, something in between. All right, you ready to go? You all ready to go? Give me a thumbs up. A heart. Yeah, there we go. A couple hearts over there. All right, so in this vein of totally the Goldilocks zone, right? Not too hard, not too soft, the middle way, the place in between. In the spirit of the 10 Bulls of Zen, we'll be doing a seated meditation practice. So if you're a Zen practitioner, it's called Zazen. We just sit and we focus on our breath. We sit and we focus on the present moment. And I will be leading it, not the full Zen. The full Zen style is you need to keep your eyes open. But no need to be so formal, so structured as we go through this today. So get into your posture, whatever it is. Again, it doesn't need to be a formal posture. What we're doing here is we're practicing mindfulness. And that can be done in iti posture, it can be done standing, it can even be done lying down. I would encourage you to sit, and one of the reasons is so that you can stay awake, so you can be fully alert, and you can have that right effort, that not too soft, not too hard, not too soft, so you can have the right effort as we go through our practice today and see what happens. And one of the reasons that we're doing this practice today and a longer practice, I don't usually do focused attention for 40 minutes, but let's see where it goes as we try our practice today, okay? Remember, there is no place to go. There is no reason to sweat through your t-shirt. You can exert the right amount of effort. So I encourage you, find your posture. This really is step one of our practice, is to find the posture. So sitting up straight and tall, with dignity, with purpose, with resolve. I am here to practice. I am here to concentrate on the present moment. And remind yourself of whatever other intention you have. Why am I here today? And sometimes reminding ourselves of our intention can be useful to say it out loud, or if you like, to write it in the chat. Like, here's what I hope. This is what I'm working towards. I want to be more patient. I want to be a better father. I want to be a better husband. I want to be more present in my life. I want to have more control over my anxiety. Just remembering what it is that brings you to the cushion today, right now. And this can be different every single day. Just remembering why I'm here and what I'm hoping that this focusing on the present moment is going to get for me. And so with that intention in mind, determining to be here, to be present, sitting up straight and tall. So noticing the feeling of the muscles in the back. Shouldn't be tense, right? Shouldn't be clenching or pinching. Seeing if we can sit up straight and tall. One way that we can assist in that is having our hips slightly higher than the knees. So me today, I'm sitting on top of a meditation cushion. Brings my hips higher than my knees. Crown of the head towards the ceiling. So noticing the feeling of the spine and the neck. So sometimes the neck is going to fall forwards a bit, the head's going to fall forwards. So can we bring the head on top of the neck with the crown of the head towards the ceiling, chin parallel to the floor, face is relaxed. Lips closed, if possible, if your nose is not blocked today. Jaw relaxed. So even though the lips are closed, the bottom teeth are slightly away from the top teeth, that they're not touching. We may have a tendency to clench our jaw. So relaxing the jaw, relaxing the face. Shoulders are down and back, relaxed, away from the ears. That's right. As I call out each of these body parts, you might find yourself tensing as you try to find the right position. So you'll know. Sitting at attention and at ease simultaneously. Arms just hanging by their own weight. So, maybe, it's all dependent on your body too. The shoulders might fall forward slightly. Right? If we hold our shoulders open, might be additional tension behind the shoulder blades. And so spine is straight but relaxed. So you can feel, if you take one of your hands, you can place your hand in the small of your back. You should be able to feel the small of your back. You may be leaning forward, your spine would round. What can be really assisting or helpful in this practice is to have that back straight And really what helps this a lot is having the hips higher than the knees. So checking into the small of the back. Abdomen should be relaxed. The muscles in the abdomen should be relaxed so that as we breathe, the abdomen can fully inflate and fully deflate. If you're wearing jeans or tight pants, maybe it's good to unbutton the top button so that there's plenty of room as you breathe to let your belly expand and contract. So now noticing the feeling of the buttocks on the cushion or in the chair. Noticing the feeling of the legs. Maybe the legs are on the cushion. Could be you're sitting on a chair, your feet are flat against the floor. So just noticing the legs, checking in. And so here we are. This is our meditation posture. This is our home base. So each time the mind wanders away, one of the things that may happen is our postures may begin to crumble. We might start to lean forwards. So when we bring the mind back to the body, one of the first things you can do is check into the posture. Is my posture still the same? Do I still have that determination, that resolve in my posture? Because this posture will reflect and will have an effect on the quality of your meditation. So coming back, crown of the head towards the ceiling, face relaxed, jaw relaxed, lips closed, breathing through the nostrils, chin parallel to the floor, head stacked neatly on top of the neck, shoulders relaxed, back supportive yet relaxed, abdomen relaxed, moving gently with the breath. And again, remembering that trying to relax can actually cause more tension. So when I say relaxed, it's just as best you can, letting go of tension in the muscles, of intentional tension. So some of that residual stress, that residual tightness may remain, and don't worry about that. So holding attention now at the body as a whole, feeling this posture, recognizing this posture, remembering this posture. And now beginning to shift your attention to the breath. Where do you feel the breath? Do you feel it in the abdomen? Do you feel it in the chest? Do you feel it in the nostrils? Our last few sessions we've been working on the nostrils, so maybe you want to choose the nostrils as your point of awareness today. So wherever you find the breath easiest to pay attention to, most vivid, most alive, letting that be your point, your focus, your object of meditation. And each time you notice that your mind has wandered, drifted, become distracted by sounds, by fantasies, by thoughts, by additional bodily sensations, noticing the mind is distracted. And then coming back, checking in with the posture. Is my posture still this posture of dignity, this posture of resolve? Crown of the head towards the ceiling. Face relaxed, jaw relaxed, lips closed, chin parallel to the floor. Neck relaxed, shoulders relaxed, back straight, butt relaxed, abdomen full. Back to this posture. Back to the same resolve that we had as we began our practice. Because after all, now is the beginning. The past is gone. We are here at the beginning of practice once again. Focusing on the breath. The natural, easy flow of the breath that happens in this moment happens without our control. Our body breathes. All we have to do is pay attention to the feeling of breathing. And if at any point this posture becomes unbearable or uncomfortable, seeing first if you can just pay attention to exactly what it is that's uncomfortable. After all, if we end up moving around, what tends to happen is we discover that, oh, this posture isn't comfortable. And then the new posture quickly becomes uncomfortable, and you shift. And then that posture becomes uncomfortable, and we shift. So seeing if instead you can resolve to stay still, and when difficult or intense physical sensations arise, can you be aware of them? Can you focus your attention in those areas where you feel discomfort? And of course, this is not a practice of masochism. When that uncomfortable feeling really starts getting to you, especially after you've brought your attention to it for a while, it's more and more intense. By all means, shift your posture, but do it with intent. Know exactly how you plan to shift your posture, exactly what the next posture is going to be. And when you arrive, do the same check. Top of the head, the face, the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the upper back and the lower back, the chest and abdomen, the pelvis, the legs. Checking in once again, remembering this posture. So best situation is that we can remain in the same posture for the entire practice, but I understand for some of us that's not realistic. And if you do shift, is there any self-judgment that comes up with the shifting? So noticing, being aware of everything that's going on. And holding at the center focal point, the central object of your meditation, the breath, the constant flux, the constant bringing in air from the external environment, the constant letting out the air from inside of me back to the external environment. Feeling this gentle, natural process of breath. And so I've been spending a lot of time guiding you. I'd really like to let the last bit of time here for me to be in silence, for you to focus on your practice as best you can on your own. So I'll give you a little warning before I ring the bells. But until that time, we will be in silence. right, congratulations everybody for making it through 35-minute meditation today. We'll close this practice with 3 rings of the bell. All right. Well done. Congratulations. How'd it go today? What was your meditation like? I found I had some things going through my mind that I wanted to say here at the end. I had a few like really great things to say, and like now they're gone, which is it's kind of like that's how it goes, right? Here we get all these like great, amazing things that might show up in meditation that some of them just disappear and they weren't that important. And thank you, Diana, for your donation. Thanks a lot. And yeah, it's funny how the plans get disrupted. Silence. I guess that's what Frank's part of my. He's like he's the comedy portion, right? Like it's like one of the buddy cop movies, right? You've got the serious cop, and then you got the joking cop, and like I'm the serious cop, and Frank's the comedy cop, right? He comes over. I know you probably couldn't see it from where you were, but while I was sitting, I moved back there. If you were super into your meditation, you didn't see that I moved back there. Yeah, and maybe that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. Why did I move back there? It's because I wanted to sit so still, right? I wanted to like be like, this is how you sit still. And instead I end up with Frank, who comes over here and he like starts to climb onto the keyboard. And then so my vision of, right? I mean, this is a lesson in and of itself. My vision of my perfect meditation gets interrupted by my comedy duo partner. So it's part of the lesson, right? So you think your meditation's going to be perfect, and I've had those too, where I sit and I'm like, man, that body scan. I'm like, oh wow, I'm so into my left toes. Oh, this is going to be it. This is going to be the one body scan where I don't get distracted for the entire 45 minutes. I can feel it. I know it. This is the perfect body scan. And then like by the time I get to my left knee, I'm like, okay, it's gone. I lost the perfection, lost the perfectness that was supposed to happen this time. So thank you, Frank, for making the meditation real. Wherever you went off to, a little comedy duo partner. And yeah, right, and of course, and in the silence, Frank's like, oh, I'm not. He goes, oh, silence, eh? I saw you. He must have read the screen. He's like reading. Oh, hey, look, silence for the next 13 minutes. Well, let me make sure that it's not silent. So lots of little meowing in there, and difficult to stay focused. And I'm just going to read through the comments here a little bit, and I'm getting down to Dirk's because I say, Dirk, you were in my mind as I was doing the instructions. That was also something that I was like thinking to myself. I'm not being perfectly inclusive here because I know these instructions don't work for everybody, and I know they probably not to be, we're all at different places, and I think I wanted to try my best to say that in the instructions, that we're all in different places as we come to the meditation. But there is benefit to remaining in a posture as long as you can, but that's the key, as long as you can, and that time is going to be different for you and different for me, and maybe that's why Frank came to interrupt me, to remind me that We don't all have to sit still for 45 minutes. That's not possible for everyone. And that doesn't make a good meditation necessarily. So, thank you, Frank. Okay, and so I'll really read through the comments. Yeah, Dirk says, physically difficult to stay in a position for a long time for me. And I understand. And that's why really it's important. It's important for me too as a teacher to keep this accessible to everybody. But also make sure, I guess that's the hard thing, is how do I strike a balance? How do we get getting the most out of our practice really has to do, we each have a different body. Our bodies aren't the same. Our minds certainly aren't the same either. And approaching our practice from wherever we are. And how do we know where we are, right? And that's through practice. I think that's why, just reflect back on the 10 Bulls. Why the 10 Bulls was so impactful for me at the time was because that's what my mind wanted, right? I hadn't realized at that point in time that this achievement that I'm so used to in every other arena of my life doesn't really apply in meditation. That there's nothing to get. There's no prize. I don't get a medal for meditating harder than everybody else. I think that's a good lesson to learn, and using the 10 Bulls as a roadmap, right? That's what I was doing, using the 10 Bulls as a roadmap. Like, this is where I'm going, right? I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to go here, then I'm going to go to Bull 3, and then to 4, and then to 5, and then to 6, and then let's see, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Like, these are too hard. Like, I don't think I'll ever make it there, unless I quit life, and start, living in a monastery. It's like, but anyway, that was it, right? This is like that's, I want to get there. I'm here, and I got to get there. I think that's really a great theme for mindfulness in general. That, like, really I'm here. I gotta get over here. Why am I not here? It's like, I'm here now. This is where I am now, right? Like, this is, maybe I'm gonna get here someday. Maybe I won't. This is here. This is there. This is here, right? This is where I am. I think that's really, like, have you ever used a map before? Like, to go over here on the map, if I'm going to go over here, I first have to know where I am. Like, how am I going to get directions for where I'm going if I don't know where I am right now? And I think this is it, is we're so focused on here, on there, we're focused over here, that, like, I have no clue where I am. That's a good analogy, and I think that's where really where I was. Letting go of, like, too focused on there, not remembering enough about here. Okay, Jean says, today I noticed that when my mind wandered, my head dipped a little, and that brought me back. It made me aware of my brain-body connection, the yoke. Thanks. Thanks, Jean. And I hope that helps others as well. Because that was really, exactly what you're describing is part of the reason why I spent so much time talking about posture today. Was so that these little pieces, that once you get aware of it, wow, it can really, really affect not only your mindfulness in your practice, but your mindfulness out in daily life. During my other mindfulness meditation today, my other teacher's cat meowed. I didn't know if it's his or mine until I asked. Well, Frank's meow has got like a little distinctive, I don't know, at least to me, I'm like, this is a different cat. Like, I know he's different than my former feline friends. Right, Frank? Thanks, CC, for your donation. Yeah, Frankie makes my meditation. I guess that's what he's around for, comic relief. And this is the internet, right? I mean, there has to be a cat somewhere. Thank you, Dirk. It's an honor to have you with us in practice today. A cat or 4 always becomes a part of my meditation practice. Yeah, and Dirk says, I just do it my way and it works, right? I mean, that's right, that's it. I just do it my way and it works. So, those are some words of wisdom there. So, do it your way. Do it your way and it'll work. It's not supposed to be hard, says Jean. Oh, that's it, right? And Jean also says, I don't think your wife and kids would like it if you moved to a monastery. Well, that's the whole point, right? Is, right? Life keeps happening. Life is what it is. Life has got certain things to it, and it's like including responsibilities. I mean, this seems so silly to say, right? But yeah, like me moving to a monastery isn't on the cards, man. It's just not something that's a possibility. Doesn't mean I can't escape for a retreat every now and then. I am planning to go on retreat at the end of August, beginning of September. Haven't bought my tickets yet, my flight tickets. I'm planning to go back to Thailand to study again, but I'm planning to go to the main monastery of Buddhadasa's, which is it's in the middle of nowhere, so it's going to be a journey getting there. Yeah, well, that's it, right? Absolutely, you're right. Like, I can't move to a monastery, but it doesn't mean I can't enhance my own mindfulness practice and my own teachings by hanging out in a monastery for 7 to 10 days a year. So, looking forward to it. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Some guys go on fishing trips, some guys go on retreats. Anyway, that's about it. That's it. That's my time. That's our time is up, ladies and gentlemen. Time for me to say goodbye and to wish you well. So be well, everyone. Look forward to continuing the series on 10 bowls. It's funny, the YouTube video that I entitled "The 10 Bowls of Zen" got a lot of views. I think it's because it was called "The 10 Bowls of Zen," and I realized when I was looking at the video and it got more views than other videos, I'm like, I didn't even talk about I barely touched the 10 Bowls of Zen in that video. So it's quite funny. Hope you come back. Hope you keep watching and listening to this little fun exercise about the 10 bowls. Listen to my premium tracks. I guess I want to say that at the end of all of my live events. Listen to my premium tracks. They are linked to in Ryan's Daily Mindfulness Circle. I think that's the only way you're going to find them. They are not searchable at the moment. Daily Mindfulness Circle. Join Ryan's Daily Mindfulness Circle. Yes. The commercial. Join Ryan's Daily Mindfulness Circle so that you too can get access to the premium tracks, and you will, and so that you can meditate on your own without me live here. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for your participation in chat. Thanks for your participation in being here today. I hope you have a great day or evening or afternoon wherever you are. Happy Saturday for those of you in Australia. Happy Friday for everybody in the Western Hemisphere in Europe. That's what I should do, a meowing meditation, right? Have a premium track with Frankie involved. No, sorry everybody, Frankie is not in the premium tracks. So you'll have to come back to live events if you want to see this little fur ball. Let's send our well wishes out. May I be happy and peaceful. May all of you watching, listening, wherever you are, I wish you all happiness and peace. and may all sentient life around the universe be happy and peaceful. Okay. Take care. Yes, Caesar, it is Insight Timer. So that's Ryan's Daily Mindfulness Circle is a group on Insight Timer, and I've linked and Dirk has helped to link even better, like one click kind of. Yes. All the premium tracks are there as well as everything else. Anyway, see you Tuesday. We'll be covering the second bowl at least. Maybe we'll get to the third bowl. See how it goes. Till next time. Bye-bye.